Earlier this week, Bioware did a live stream in which they revealed information about the next update for Star Wars The Old Republic. Update 7.2, or Showdown on Ruhnuk, is tentatively slated for a winter 2022 release. And while that's not overly specific, they did mention that they hope to start the Life Day event at the same time, so I'm guessing that at least they want to launch it in early to mid-December. Will they make that? It would be the first time in a long time if they did, but who knows? As you can see, they covered quite a bit in the live stream, so I will leave a link in the description to Bioware's Twitter thread in case you missed the stream and would like to go take a closer look for yourself. With this update, we will finally be getting some new story, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I do want to at least touch on some of the other changes coming to the game as well. Along with the story, we will be getting a new planet, the planet Ruhnuk, which is a planet shrouded in a nebula. It's an arid planet, though not entirely dry. It does get some rain, so we have some lush areas, some waterfalls, and some riverbeds. It's a very nice looking planet. On this planet, we were also going to get a new daily zone with some heroic quests, regular daily quests, and a world boss. The daily zone will also have a small 3-quest story arc, just like on Manon. The devs did go out of their way to say that the NPCs would be fully voiced this time, which is good. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that doesn't include the PC. More than likely, we're still going to have the classic dialogue style. They also mentioned a Datacron, which we haven't had in a long time. Those are kind of fun, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll also be getting a new reputation track for this daily zone with an accompanying vendor, so you can purchase decos, mounts, armor sets, pets, the usual things. So pretty cool, especially if you're interested in all the Mandalorian stuff. Next, we have the PvP revamp they mentioned earlier this year. Apparently, they still don't think enough of us are participating in PvP, and they're still trying to make us do that. To that end, they have made some changes to PvP. They've added a seasons-like reward track. They have gotten rid of ranked and unranked, so now you'll be queuing for 8v8 and or 4v4. Apparently you can do that at the same time. I have pretty much no opinion on these changes. What I can say is that nothing I heard made me want to start participating in PvP, but who knows? Maybe it'll work for someone. I kind of wish they would stop trying to force people into PvP and, I don't know, focus on making content, but that's just me. Clearly, Bioware feels differently. And next we have changes to the UI and UX. Some of those are pretty neat. They are adding some functionality to the minimap, adding colorblind mode. In fact, I think they have 3 different colorblind modes. However, I think the change that I am most excited for, and probably the thing that I'm most excited for in the entire update, so I'm not sure what that says about me, is the addition of a delete window next to the deconstruct window. Finally, we're going to have a way to mass delete things. That's going to make dealing with those remnant sets that we get from heroic crates and stuff that you pull out of collections so much easier. Really can't wait for that change. But on a possibly less exciting note, they are going to be increasing the gear level cap again in 7.2. So it will be going from currently 330 to 336, unless of course you are playing the R4 anomaly operation that grants 340 gear, and they are not making any changes to that. This update will also bring the first increase to the I rating of the lower end gear. So currently it's at 320, it will go up to 324. This is the gear that you can buy on the fleet for the various currencies, the conquest commendations, the flashpoint currency, and the operation currency. They also mentioned that they will be updating the Legacy of the Sith story to drop 322 gear. That is up from 318. They did also mention that they would be updating hide and seek as well. I can't say I'm overly excited to be back at the gear grind, but I think that's just kind of what we're going to be having to look forward to with the 7X cycle here. They're going to keep raising it, so we'll just have to do it or not. And of course there will be the usual additions to the cartel market that come with most updates. And as I mentioned earlier, they are planning for the Life Day event to begin with the launch of 7.2. So now let's talk about the biggest thing in this update, at least for me, and that's the story. In this update, titled Showdown on Ruhnuk, we are picking up the Mandalorian arc that was started in Spirit of Vengeance. We are headed to this world in pursuit of Hedda Cole and her Hidden Chain group. We'll be seeing more of Shay Vizsla, and we'll be teaming up with the Ordo brothers again. They'll be helping us with our missions on Ruhnuk. We're also going to be meeting up again with some of the other characters from the Spirit of Vengeance Flashpoint, not just Hedda Cole, but also Bassoon. We're also going to apparently be seeing more of Rikon Satim, that's Sahar Satim's brother. She's the Padawan from the Malga story, the one who stole the holocron that we've been chasing down. In the last update, Bioware merged the two stories that we've been following for the last couple of years. On the one hand, we have Malgus, the holocron, and Darth Nul. On the other, we have the Mandalorian Civil War, and they've been completely separate from each other. But in the last update, Sahar Satim reunited with her brother Rikon, and he took her to meet Hedda Cole. So I'm hoping that even though this update seems to be pretty heavily weighted toward the Mandalorians, that we will also maybe learn a little bit more about whatever's going on with this Darth Nul and the holocron. But that's just speculation. However, one thing we do know is that Akavispar and Torian will be making an appearance. Not sure how extensive their involvement's going to be, but they are going to be there, which is cool, and I hope is a precedent for the future and that they will be bringing back our old class companions where appropriate. It's been a long time since we've actually seen them involved in the story, and I know people love Lana and Theron, but it's really nice to be able to see and interact with some other people sometimes. Now, before I go any further into my impressions on what we've learned about Update 7.2, Bioware did share a very, very brief sneak peek into the story, so let's take a look at that now.
So that's Ruhnuk. Hedda Cole's base of operations?
That's right. I also managed to piece together more about her. One thing doesn't track. She moves like a Mando, fights like she's been trained by the best, but I couldn't find a clan affiliation. I'm certain she's one of us, but it's strange. Whatever she is, people follow her. Years back, she ran a small team of outcasts for a while. They became her inner circle. This group was responsible for several raids against both Republic and Imperial interests. She owes nothing to either side.
Insofar as what we're going to be getting in the Showdown on Ruhnuk update is concerned, I have to say that while I'm always happy for more story, that's really the reason I play the game, I'm really not at all invested in this Mandalorian Civil War story. I just don't care. And honestly, I don't know why some of my characters are even doing it. Bioware just hasn't done a very good job of giving us a reason to do this. You can argue that you need the Mandalorians to watch your ships, but you don't, especially if you've joined up with the Empire or the Republic. You just don't need them. Even if that's not the case, you have been given the option to look for someone else to do the job that the Mandalorians were doing. There just doesn't seem to be a compelling reason apart from, I want to help the Mandalorians to actually do this. On top of that is, for me at least, the ongoing problem of my character not being the real protagonist of these stories. The story is really about Sahar Katim or Shay Vizsla and her vendetta. It's not about my character ever doing anything. Our characters are never proactive. Our characters never sense anything in the Force or have a contact tell them something. Our characters never think of anything on their own anymore. We are told what to do, where to go, what to do once you get there, and honestly, I just don't find the storytelling in these last few expansions very compelling. And I'm not expecting Showdown on Ruhnuk to change that in the slightest. Of course, I haven't played it yet, and I am glad for at least some new content. I'm just not as excited about it as I would like to be. I am very excited for some of the quality of life changes though, so the sooner the better on that front. As I was about to wrap up this video, I noticed that the public test server is now live. So if you're interested in seeing and testing any of these changes for yourself, then you can hop on over and take a look at them. Everything will be there except the story as usual. Anyway, that's my initial thoughts on what we can expect in Showdown on Ruhnuk. What do you think? Are you guys excited for it? Is there anything that you're looking forward to in particular? Let us know in the comments, and if you like this video, why not like and subscribe for more. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.